This morning with two of my amazing sisters, and I'm going to bring them in because it is election day, and we want to make sure that if you have not voted here in the city of Tampa, Hillsborough County, that you are doing so on today. Today is the day. You want to make sure that you have all the information that you have. If you can turn down all of the noises in your background, family, I have on with me Erlisha Oaks, one of our community organizers, community leaders in our community that works tirelessly all the time, whether it's with children, people that are in need in our communities, doing all of the things. Also, Sister Connie Burton is with us as well. We want to make sure that we definitely get her to tell us what she is hearing, seeing out there. I know she gets lots of phone calls from so many people that are concerned with what is going on in our city, in our county. But we want to definitely make sure everyone get out and vote and do all of the things. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Sister Connie Burton.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
I am doing good. I'm ready. I'm up, ready to hit the streets and do some pickups and take people to the polls.
That is absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Sister Connie, what are you hearing out there? What are you seeing? Because we know today is the day, election day. Unmute your mouth, there, sis.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot hear you. I don't know why it's all kind of staticky. I can hear
Okay.
Alicia well, but I cannot hear you at all.
Mhm. She was asking,
Alicia,
what are you hearing out there in the community? What are the people saying?
yes.
Sister, it don't sound pretty.
Oh,
Mm,
I'm hoping that today, since it is the final day, that more people will get motivated. Um, Maybe they tossed and turned and thought about it last night, but it was interesting because yesterday I happened to be at a health clinic. And so, that's a full range of people. And hey, how you doing? Hey, you got out to vote? You going to vote? And a lot of the faces were no, from the workers to the patients. And
mm,
so I think that's something that that is a grappling issue that everybody is aware of, but do not want to acknowledge why the apathy is there.
right.
Because while people in their early 20s have heard about the voting process, they might have been looking around to see what it has actually produced.
Right.
And that could be the reason for a lack of motivation. But I'm not going to be, on the people as much as those that control the political leadership, those
Mm-hmm.
that have made decisions to spend money in mailers, spend money with consultant, and do not want to invest in the people.
Right.
And so
Right.
this becomes part of the result of that type of ignorance.
Yeah. I agree. I have young boys. My 20-year-old, him and his friends, they don't understand the process. They don't understand why they need to go vote when no one's paying them any attention. So how do we even address that issue? What can we do to even try to get them to understand the process and help them understand that their vote matters?
Well, I think it's similar to like when you bake a cake. If somebody didn't had a real good pound cake, let's just use that. You just don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I just want that pound cake to appear because that's what I love to eat. We
Mhm.
have to let people understand the process of how we get to that good product and what it takes, what type of ingredients we're going to need into that. So we might have to start very elementary. We might have to do it based on a historical collection of that when we vote, these are the things that we have won. We might even have to say that when we don't vote and people win political power, these are the things they have done to us.
Right.
So I think it's part of a process of having ongoing engagement and not waiting at the final hour, 5 minutes before they start talking about elections and candidates that we start now trying to muscle, uninformed voters, voters that and walked away from the process to start, this quick engagement.
Right. Right.
No, we have to have an investment in our community, an
Mhm.
investment in our people, so they can have that appetite once again.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree. Especially our youth. Our youth are they're ready to get out here and make change. And they're going to be the ones that's going to do it. Some of our younger 20, 21 year olds, my son, when he soon as he went and got his permit, I made sure he checked that box that he want to be registered to vote. 18 years old, he'll get his card in the mail. So that is so so important, Auntie Connie.
Well, I
Like
think
today.
if we connect voting to the things that they like,
Yes.
the activities they enjoy. Having just a nice park, but not just a park, but how about a skate park? Well, how about if you push your agenda and you run into a candidate can understand that, then you would work with that candidate. For
Mm-hmm.
a lot of young mothers that know they need Head Start for their children, that is an absolute must. The
Yes.
critical need for affordable housing, not the term affordable, not the way in which it's being characterized or used now
Mm-hmm.
to attract first responders that make well close to 80 plus $1,000 or more. But to help young people to understand that securing you a housing foundation requires candidates or politicians that is aligned with what your needs are. Because I would never forget this, Brother Life used to always say this: when a candidate win an election, his life is going to be forever changed. He
Right.
becomes connected to power and influence and money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have to get a guarantee that me voting for you will be the process of my life changing as well.
Yes. Yes. I agree. Because like even the same summer safe series, that my
It
boys and
does us
other
no good to just be cheerleaders for
right.
5 minutes and then to walk away from the process.
And that's
To
what no
say,
one
oh,
showed up.
candidate A won, but then we can't call them. We
Right.
can't connect with them. We don't see
Mhm.
them
Mhm.
nowhere. They become, dispossessed, have, zero connection from the community. So we have
Yeah.
to remind them, and the only way we can remind them that they are servants of the community and of the people is by our constant engagement. Let me tell you something. I don't worry about people with little short shadow attitude. I don't even care if a politician don't like me. I don't care.
Right. Right.
Because one thing I don't try to do is blend my life into their personal life or allow them to blend their life into mine.
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Our
Yes, ma'am.
relationship is based on our political interests.
Right.
And when I can't say anything to you politically about the interests of our people, then that's where we start drawing lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't trying to parlay with you or break bread with you or coffee. It'd be nice if we could remain civil to each other. But at the moment that you think and you personalize my comments based on the issues of our people, then that's when we start having a problem.
I
So I
agree.
try to be respectful,
Mhm.
because I don't know all of the moving pieces. All I understand is my interest.
Mm.
Right.
Because I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to the city agenda. I'm paying attention to their comments, and I'm paying attention to progress and lack of. I could
Mhm.
see people come downtown and they ain't been down there but two times, and immediately the things that they want is transformed. And the voices of certain black folks, including mine, can be consistent. And I can hear a whole bunch of heen and hawing off the diocese. And that's why I'm
Mm.
always critical of the political party in which I vote with.
Right,
If I'm
Mhm.
a
right,
Democrat and all of you up there Democrats, then if
Right.
you can't agree with me, you better send an aide out there and tell me that the council person heard me.
right.
And so
Mhm.
if you heard me, I know it should be in your uh data bank that we're gonna be moving towards something, because I'm not asking for myself. I come
Mhm.
as a servant of our people that is truly entrenched in the community, that have knowledge, and it's not based off emotion. That
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that our people are in critical need of, even if you don't see them down at a council meeting. These are the issues of the black community, and I ain't speaking for no other group of our people. I
I
think
know that's
every
Right.
group
right.
have a right to speak for themselves. White people got a whole line of people that speak to their interests, from how many
Mhm.
trees they want in their neighborhood to how wide they want the sidewalks to when they don't
Mhm.
want a big major project coming down their streets. They got plenty of that.
Right,
Right.
So I
right.
try to keep my, as grandmother would say, mind my business. And my
Mhm.
business is black folks.
Right. I don't attend a lot of the city council meetings, but I do the children's board and I do the ELC meetings. And I think that's where sometimes we need to come together as
I
a
can't hear
community.
Alicia for some reason. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Auntie Connie? Can you hear me, Auntie Connie? Mm.
I couldn't hear if you was talking to me or Alicia.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Candelo?
Yes. Just keep talking.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
what I was
So
saying
now
was
we are getting, like to
she can't
this
hear us.
voting deadline. And it's gonna be interesting to see, because I'm quite sure, some people get into, political races for a variety of reasons. Everybody knows it's just gonna be one winner, right?
Right.
And hopefully that be you. If not, a lot of people go in there because they have made connections, relationships. They
Correct.
have gotten an opportunity, and
Hmm.
people have gotten a chance. It's almost like an audition and
Right.
a performance. And this is
Correct.
Hmm.
my resume. And if I
Mhm.
Hmm.
win, this is what I get. But if I don't win, you might see me as a good fit somewhere else. So
Exactly.
that's the way I
We're
see
not
a
gonna see
lot of
them at
people
all. That's gonna be the
moving with
problem. They
theirs.
go lose and we ain't
Uh,
gonna see them.
Unfortunate in with our community, I see a lot of hurt feelings. I see a lot of attitudes. I see a lot of people that choose that they won't speak to you for a variety of reasons. And so we have to figure out how to balance all of that, because I recognize that, and it's not based off of age, but it's just based off of, a lack of political maturity. But
Emotional intelligence.
even when people are auditioning for these positions, we as the voter, and we're as advocates, leadership in our community, or however people see you, we have to make sure that we're at our best.
Mm-hmm.
With our At our best. So, like I said again, I ain't interested in being invited to lunch or dinner, But I just want you to recognize that when you see me coming, when you see Connie Burton coming, you know she's consistently coming because she's going to lay out what black folks need, and don't be
Hmm.
shy about it. So we just going to
Absolutely.
keep on saying it over and over again, that harm and neglect that has been decade old in our community. You cannot come back and just beat up non-voters and say, well, this is the way it's been because somebody has been at the table. You know, I've been around to see Mayor Greco, Bopar Martinez, Pam Oreo, the
Mm-hmm.
Buckhorn Regime,
Right.
and now the Jane Castor. And so the conversation continues to be, you know, from a mayor's point of view, although they are not at a council meeting, they have their surrogates there, their chief of staff there. They are
Mhm.
listening constantly. If we have somebody that's representing our interests from our district, then their voices should be echoing what we're saying. It's
Right.
nothing different. Unfortunate for black politicians, not all, but for quite a few here in this city, once they win their seat, it becomes their ideas and their ideas alone.
Yep.
It
Right.
becomes their program and their programs alone.
Yep.
They
Right.
become then the master, not
Of
the
all things.
servant, but the
Mm-hmm.
master
Hmm.
of the community.
Yep.
And there how we lose connection. That's how we start building these
Mm.
trenches of distrust, because the things you were saying on the campaign is not the things that you're saying now since you're in that seat.
Right.
Wow.
And that's, I believe, um, saying it in one voice, being, you know, like grandmother would say, don't be two-faced it. Because I
Mm-hmm.
hear it all the time when people saying, you know what, I thought he understood. Oh man, uh,
Right.
uh, whether it's a he or she that's representing our interests, they don't do nothing what we tell them to do. But then
Mm-mm.
5 minutes later, I'm looking at pictures and everybody cheesing and grinning. Well, how
Mm-hmm.
can that be? How
Because
can that
they
be
done
Mm.
that
got
you
what
could
they
be so
wanted.
close to that power structure and you feel
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable over there in those picture taking moments, but you don't
Right.
come to the podium
Right.
and put folks in check
Right.
Because
because they're not
that'll mess
carrying
up
out
what
the
they're
wishes of the
getting.
community. That's
That's
why I
them.
love Brother
Yeah.
Matisse not, because for consistently for over 35 years, that brother has risked going to jail, um, watching his property get all kind of liens on it, uh,
Hmm.
being threatened with removal. As you know, now he can't even come to council now because he's fighting a case in court. But for
Mm-hmm.
Right.
30 years consistently, and I know that brother don't need a nickel, dime, a quarter from nobody in this community.
Right.
Right.
That's fact. That brother don't need no money.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
telling him all the time, brother, relax. Find you a book, read it, and he's always researching. He'll call you two,
Yes.
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, tell you about something he didn't seen in another city, how black folks are being either treated for the better or for the worse, and try to implement that in his comments. And
Same.
people become ashamed of that brother because he
Right.
might get to the point that he got to go down there and cuss him out
Right.
Right.
because he know that, and he's very articulate. I mean, he let you know he got some of that USF education in him.
Right.
Okay, but when it
Hey.
becomes to the point that people don't act like they can hear what he's talking about, he can bring it all the way back to 29th Street and 22nd and
Yes,
let you
That's
ma'am.
know
right.
this is how I'm gonna give it to you blood raw this morning. And so
Right.
for that, I appreciate his consistency. But what I
Hmm.
do not uh feel good about is that we tend to keep ourselves disconnected. We're operating in our own little private silos. We whatever little victory people are getting for themselves is
Mm-hmm.
not nearly enough. The sister
Right.
told me yesterday, she said the city has a $2 billion budget. $2 billion budget. And black folks were only able to garnish from CRA funding, from HUD grants, and from a little bit from the general funds of maybe $48 million out of $2 billion.
Wow.
Hey, Pastor.
That's shameful.
Right.
That
Hmm.
is shameful. And
Mm-hmm.
any black person, in my opinion, whether you got a PhD, a certificate of attendance, or you might have didn't even get that far. It's a difference between 2 billion and only 48 million. It's a whole bunch of $1 million go before you get to 2 billion.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact, even with the money that's put in the community, we don't put our hands on it. It is
Right.
somebody else, as if they're feeding us, as if they no, not if they are making decisions as to what would be a good fit for black folks in their community. And we're
Mm-hmm.
slowly watching as the entire community is being gentrified, and we're asking then young people to get out the vote. They probably looking at us like we insane.
Wow. Good morning, Pastor Elvis.
Good morning. How are you guys? Great people. The one and only her Grace. Connie Burden is on the line.
Yes.
And the Candy Low. Erlisha.
Mm.
Children, our children deserve better. Ain't
Yes,
that
they
right?
do.
Yes.
They do. They do. Go get it today.
Yes, yes, yes. How
So,
y'all doing?
Pastor,
I'm
good.
doing
I
wonderful.
know
Let me
that.
just squeeze this in real quick because I'm
Okay.
the elder here and I'm
Yes,
forgetful.
you are.
Yes, ma'am.
But just like that juvenile center that's closing, you can ask 50 people that you think it's important. How did that happen? And everybody's scratching their head like they don't know. I mean, like, was you at a meeting? Did you see any of the minutes? Are you on these various boards? You got educators down at that facility. Do the superintendent know? I haven't talked to the superintendent, but I'm trying to go up the chain. Well, what did he know? Well, what did the people know? And all I had to do was go and do a little research of my own, and it shows that the governor promised them that facility as part of the Rays baseball deal.
And I don't understand how people
And
saying they
and
didn't
what
know
they
when I knew
do
last
know
month.
is that many of us ain't gonna say crap about it.
I did.
It's right there in the newspaper article.
Yeah.
The governor told them that he would shut down that facility. Now this man DeSantis, he out of here. He be gone in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
But he's using his power for future influence and future connections to the things that he wants. And our
Mm-hmm.
children are simply pawns. And we
Mm-hmm.
should be asking. See, this is the stuff that when we say overt and covert policies, when people do not want the community informed, and when it involves former children of the enslaved, they don't feel like they should be held accountable because the leadership of the black community, whether that be black women's in high places, black men's in high places, sororities, pastors, or whomever, how many going to the podium and speak in behalf of our children?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm,
where they at?
where
Yep.
they at?
Silent. They
Hmm.
silent. They silent by the creek.
Caught up on some stupid stuff about NAACP. And I always say that if you don't like the way they're
Oh.
functioning, build your own. Cause you can't
Ah,
come back. Cause you can't come back you can't come back over in there. Build your own.
right.
Once upon a
Yes.
time, we had what they considered the Big Six civil rights organization. And if the NAACP is the only thing you can put your eyeballs on right now, that means there's room to build yourself something so you can attract um, people that is aligned with the agenda and the mission of the organization that you gonna create. Cause God knows we need all hands on deck.
Yeah. And see, Connie,
But
I
what
want
we
all the
don't need no more the Judas class.
yes.
Well,
We
shut
need
up.
these
Mm,
That's
organizations to
what we
have
don't need. Not in
youth
this
in their
time.
mission to
We
actually be
don't need
working
no
with the
more of
youth.
that. We don't need none of them that wherever they get their certificates of completion for ministerial bishop, pastors, reverends, or wherever they buy that from, we don't need no more of that.
No,
mm-hmm.
no. They
Mm-mm.
We
get
Let
need
us,
they not buying doctor degrees. I'm saying they not buying the bishop degrees no more. They buying doctor degrees now. Not everybody honorary doctor.
PhDs or nothing.
Yeah, they buying the doctor degrees now.
right. Let us bring Pastor Elvis Pickett in on the conversation. I know he's been out for the last several days on the ground. What are you hearing out there, Elvis, in the Black community? What are the numbers looking like thus far? Give us what you got.
So basically, I mean, I've been really in this election cycle, truthfully, I've been more so Bloomingdale areas and all that stuff. I did spend my day at C. Blight Andrews. And even then, the major, we're the polls is really, I wouldn't say low, I would say, but we don't have major, massive turnouts at C. Blight Andrews, West Tampa, Library for the early voting. But we did, of course, the massive polling is still showing and reflecting Bloomingdale, Jan Plaque, and Kimball Library. Those three libraries pretty much are the dominant Sun City, South Shore, dominant
Mm-hmm.
polling places. They're very strong in our community. I think even when I went yesterday, we was at 144. If I pulled it up, I don't know if you guys can still see me now. Uh, if you can,
Mm-mm.
you hear me? You can
We
hear
can hear
me
you.
though.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So if I when I pulled up the data for the election, we looking. I'm gonna give some direct kind of numbers for us to kind of see where
Okay.
we at so far. And I can tell you one thing. Like even right now, we have election day numbers coming in. But let's say yesterday, when we looked at the polls, we was at. I'm looking at it right now as we speak. Sometimes it gives me a different version that I don't want, and so I have to see because. All right, so I'm looking at what we got here. We got our locations. All right, so perfect example when we look at Jane Plaque, but that's today. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the 16th. So Bloomingdale had 830 people vote. When we look at Temple Terrace had 385 people to vote. West Tampa had 210 people to vote. C. Blight Andrews had 450 people vote on the last day of early voting. So it
Mm-hmm.
was that is busy. While we wish, of course, we want a lot more participation, that is very busy day for that library
Yes.
uh, on that and that was the last day early voting. So I told
Mm-hmm.
any candidates if you wasn't there, shame on you because the black people was there and they came out after church anticipating on voting and they was ready. And so when we look over only 98 people over in Brandon, but when we go down to Victor Chris, because that's another one of our locations in the black community, only 48 people voted. So the real
Mm.
reality is, like we always know, you want to be at you want to be at C. Black Andrews and you want to be at West Tampa.
Right.
I mean, that is the Mango Library had 271 people vote. And so New Tampa had 448 people. So I mean, the people we got it low. Last day early voting, 7,649 people voted. So yes, that is absolutely low, uh, low turnout. But I mean, we give or take. We want to continue to drive those numbers today. Those people actually have to go to their precincts. Most of you, if you're on 40th Street, if you're on 40th Street, Hannah, you on Palafox, you in that area, your polling is going to be right across from Big John Barbecue, which is going to
Mm-hmm.
be precinct 329 and
Mm-hmm.
327. They're merged together.
Yeah.
Let me also say with that, if we think about it now, those areas have really grown tremendously with apartments, condos, and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So in that Bloomingdale area, those areas that you mentioned earlier that has more numbers, then we get 40th Street. I mean, there's no big apartments, there are no big condos that have come into that area. So for CB Life Andrews to have had 400 plus on Sunday, that is a lot of people came out on Sunday. And you
And,
said it. If candidates was not there on Sunday, shame on them, because we all know that it's normally souls to the polls day, and people that did not know that we did not have souls to the polls, they still was there and not necessarily record numbers, but a lot of people came out that at that location on Sunday, Elvis.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Sunday was a big day there. Yes, the rest of early voting there was kind of low. At C Blikes, you went from between 120, all the way down to 98 to 144. 160. But Sunday was the
Right.
largest.
Mm-hmm.
450 people showed up. It was busy at C Blight Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. I voted Sunday.
I
Well,
voted that Sunday.
I don't know if they still call it that sold to the poll when they doing it primary, or do they wait until the general election and that becomes the sold to the poll moment? But there's enough African American churches, because in East Tampa alone there's about 40 in between 40 to 45,000 households in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And on depending on which way you try to enter into East Tampa, you can't bypass a church. There has to be a coming to Jesus moment with pastors
Mm.
to see if, and I say this with all due respect, as much as I can, that I don't know if we are just praying to asking our parishioners to look to the sky and wait on that help, or to use their political power and demand their help here on earth, to use
Mm-hmm.
their power and
Mm-hmm.
influence that they have right now. So after all of the numbers come in after this cycle, there should be no doubt in whoever the front runners are, the things that they need to be doing to generate a more active participation in the upcoming November election.
And
You
I
Yeah.
know,
said,
that
and I said this, Miss Connie, but to piggyback off of that, or even a Sunday, I put up a post and asked, community, how many of, because people went to church on Sunday. How many
mhm.
in that message was tailored? Was the pastor speaking about voting? Did the pastor say today is the last day early voting? Souls to the polls was not necessarily something that was created to just say one organization need to do. Pastors, souls is sitting in the church. That's souls to the polls.
Mm-hmm.
We should be
Mm-hmm.
encouraging, whether that's buses, whether that's barbecue, whether whatever. We should be encouraging our people, leave church, let's go to the polls.
Right.
Making sure that when it's time for, we know, have that conversation about registration. Are you registered? We got a
Mm-hmm.
moment we take out for offering. We need to start taking out moments for registration. Let's make sure everybody is registered to vote that can, and then make sure we're sounding that alarm when it comes to souls to the polls. Let's get these souls in our churches to the polls. That's important and necessary. And if we're not doing that, we're failing our community, and we're really failing our church families.
Mm-hmm. What I tell you all the time, Pastor, they need to leave the four walls of the church, and they don't. And they don't.
I just, being a pastor in the community, I understand twofold. I understand when I'm in church, I'm preaching, and I understand community is ministry. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out how we separate the two when in reality, the people coming to the church because of what's happening in the community. They're coming to the church asking for help because the lack of it in the community. They're coming to the church seeking for God's direction for jobs and opportunities and God's favor
Mm-hmm.
because of the lack of resources in the community. So I think when we merge those two and understand that you can't keep them separate, we can become so much further and so much more powerful.
You're right.
Hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I tell you, I'm gonna be out here. Look like you got on the shirt, or Alicia, what that shirt say?
Vote Jacqueline Coffee Leaks, and it's the correct spelling of her name is on this shirt, so we won't get confused. State Rep 63. Mhm.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but do we got anybody? Have we called anybody
I'm
to have we called anybody to watch guard at the Skyway?
I'm going over there in a little bit. I'm gonna pass by. I'm gonna go live and make sure nobody up there.
Yeah, I think I will be in that vicinity about 3:30. I will be definitely camping out because I want to definitely make sure I get to some of the watch parties on this
Yes.
evening. I definitely will be close by the Skyway. I did get some new binoculars just in case I'm not able to get very close, but I'm sure the splashes is
Gonna be
going to
wild.
be massive.
What we say, Ken Lo is gonna flood. We gonna flood. Put on your
Yeah,
vest.
yeah, we thought those last two years ago was something. We're gonna definitely need some life rafts, some life vests. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
may have to put the things around their little wrists because it
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be something. I'm waiting to see how it turn out. I know there's a lot of watch parties. Some of them will probably won't make the watch party. They will be going straight there. So it will
Right here.
definitely be something to see this evening.
I thought it, yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
fell right here, just a plastic
And
piece. Yeah,
then going
Yes.
straight
it was
into the
just a
general
black plastic piece.
election,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
going straight into the general election in November. So some of the people will go on to November. So we want to make
Right.
sure that we are paying attention to the people that will
Mm-hmm.
go on to the next step, which is in November. You know, we have a mayor's race coming up next year, and I'm hoping that we're able to stay focused. And even
Please stay
with this,
focused.
I'm hoping that everybody is able to come back to a space of joy and
Morning.
happiness together in our city. Because during election time, people really get all worked up. The emotions get all tangled up. And I do know that there's white folk. White folk tend to be able to get back together. They're going to have
Mm-hmm.
coffee tomorrow. They are able
Mm-hmm.
to understand that it is a political process. Most of them, not all. I don't ever
Right.
want to think all, but the
Right.
majority of them, I've seen that work. I've seen them run against one another, and 2 weeks later, they are on the same team. So I am hoping that we are able to make sure that we get together, we get back on the same team, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the community, and it's going to take everyone.
Right. Right. Kenny Lo, before we get off, I want to put a plug out there. This afternoon, my son Russell and Brian, Coach Jamal, will be sitting on a panel at 101.5 The Vibe with the police
Okay.
chief from Tampa, St. Pete police chief, and a city councilwoman from St. Pete. I know everyone gonna be riding around, going to the watch parties, but if you guys can tune in and just listen to what those young men have to say. Russell is a young gentleman scholar from Elvis, and he's a senior this year. So just watching him grow into this space has been absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say to those officers. He had an issue happen a couple weeks ago at the park where a coach weaponized the police against him and tried to get him arrested. And everybody know Russell. So it was very interesting. So I'm excited about tonight. So everyone tune in to 101.5 The Vibe at 6:30 tonight to listen to those boys and all the amazing things they're doing. Coach Jamal is doing. And yeah. And they're going to talk about some voting too. They have a lot to say about the election process.
Okay,
I'm
awesome. We
telling
will
you.
definitely be tuning in. Any last words, Pastor Elvis Pickett? I know you are out there making it all happen today and going to be at a number of watch parties as well. Let me ask, because almost everyone are having a watch party. And I know that, we just go to each one of them. If you're only there for 15, 20 minutes, you just keep rolling all night long. Are there any last words you want to say? Are there any parties that you're recommending people go to? Are there any parties tonight that you're going to be at? I know we all going to be watching the Skyway as well.
I'm going to be at Louis Aguila. I'm going to go to Louis Aguila watch party. I also will be at Jackie Coffee Leaks watch party. I will be over at Michelle Rayner's watch party for Senate 16. I will be at Karen Perez watch party over at the teachers Hillsborough over in West Tampa. And
Mm-hmm.
so I
Have
think all that I will be at those four. I know for certain. I would ride by Nina Alvarez watch party as well. So I'm all of the candidates that I have supported throughout this campaign and throughout the time. I will be stopping by. As you said, Candy, everybody is having a watch party. If you're not having a watch party, you're not planning on winning, and you probably already know that you probably won't be winning. But those that have great anticipation on bringing it home, they are gathered with family and friends and just celebrating what it's going to look like and being consoled if perhaps they don't pull it off.
Right, right. If any of those watch parties I'm not able to attend, please video chat me so that I can say congratulations to the candidates as well. Or Alicia, you as well. When if you're out with anyone, please
I'll be
let me.
over there with Jackie. I'll be over there with Jackie and Karen. We need Karen Perez to bring this home. She has been an advocate for all kids in Hillsborough County. And it's so sad to see so many people say she doesn't do anything, especially when you don't have kids in the system. And that bothers me. If you don't have kids currently in Hillsborough County schools going through the process daily, sit back and let the people that are there do the work. It's okay for you to help support, but don't be so loud and be so wrong.
Hmm. Absolutely, I totally agree. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I want to say also thank you so much, Elvis, for that live that you did last night. It was
Yes,
very, very
yes,
informative. Very informative. Those that
it
did not
was.
listen in, please go back and check that live out on his social media platform. And I'm always grateful to get a chance to listen to things that I may not have known. Definitely, you are very, very connected. I cannot wait till you get moving with that amazing podcast in the
Mm-hmm.
state of Florida, because you definitely got all of the sauce. With that being said, and Sister Connie, I think she's off the screen there, but she's amazing. My sister, our historian, I always say she know all things in the universe. She's a goddamn genius. But yeah, I absolutely love her. But thank you so much, guys. If you don't have anyone have any last words,
Oh, get to the polls. Let's get out and vote.
Go vote.
Jackie
all
Coffee
right, now
Leaks,
go
District
vote.
63.
Let's get it done, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead on and like and share and subscribe to the channel. Tea and Conversation Live, one conversation, one community, making it happen together. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'll see you
All right.
soon. See you out on the campaign trail. Take care.